Hello, I'm Henry DeVillers, Product Specialist for B&G Electronics. In this video, we're going to explain to you the VCP system and how it communicates with the other components of the system, and also the logic circuits of how you can adapt it to your applications. What are some of the applications? Well, there's many. For example, in law enforcement, you can set up this system so that it can hook up to seat belts. For example, when you're transporting a prisoner, and it'll tell you, if you push a button, it'll send a signal to the system telling you that someone has disabled their seat belt. That's just one idea, but to understand this, we need to explain the logic, and that's what we're going to do in this video. So, let's talk a little bit about the CAN bus system. First of all, this is the TCP7. This is what mounts in front of the patrol car. Now, this particular screen, also, we have a second screen here. They can be programmed individually, separate programs. This one's designed to go in the back of a vehicle. This particular configuration is for an ambulance. Okay? Now, in your application, one of the things that we can do is we can communicate to all the other modules. These modules can be scattered throughout your project, whether we're talking about a sport utility vehicle, whether we're talking about a trailer, a bus, a mobile command post, whatever the case might be, we can custom configure this for your application. So, how does it communicate? Real simple. On the back, there's a plug-in, and that's what we call our CAN bus. When it sends information to the DC controller or to the AC-DC controller, it sends it via a CAN bus cable. What does this do for you? You have one cable going to the back that controls all the electronics, that controls all your accessories, all your circuitry. It means less wiring for you and a project that's quicker to install for your customer. So it uses what we call a CAN bus cable. Now, these can be hooked up from system to system, and it allows the signals to go back and communicate back and forth. It's a advanced system that was developed by Bosch for communication in automobiles. So that's the way this particular CAN bus system works. It sends the information via data. Now, in addition to that, for example, the TCP7 has 8 controllers. In other words, it has 8 fused circuits in there that control different things in your vehicle. Plus, it has 8 analog, and it also, we can configure up to 4, in some cases 8 analog inputs. What are some of the analog inputs? We have battery drain, and we also have temperature right here. We can take a look at various analog circuits and give you information. Now, what can you do with these circuits? You can look at battery condition. You can look at condition of multiple batteries. If you have, let's say, solar panels in a particular project, you can be charging your spare batteries, and you can see what the condition is of your spare batteries. There's a lot of things, temperature at different parts of your project, many things that you can do. We also have logic inputs, okay? These inputs, we can program them and hook them up to circuits inside of your project, and we can create icons that give you information on what's going on. Now, we also have other analog inputs. For example, the idea that I mentioned with the seat belts, we can hook it up to the seat belts, and you can see that all the seat belts are secured, and it'll tell you if a prisoner releases the seat belt, it'll send an alert right to you telling you that someone has released their seat belt. Pay attention to what's going on in the vehicle. Or we can do that with doors, or if you have a canine vehicle, we can set it up, or we can set it up where you can open the door, roll down the window, whatever you want to do in your particular application. So it's limitless as to what you can do with the TCP7. And remember, because of the CAN bus, those same limits, as soon as you expand and go into this particular one, it gives you 18 more inputs, it gives you more analog inputs, and more logic inputs, in addition to the fused circuitry, and also on the AC, so we can control AC devices as well. So this is the VCP. That's a brief explanation of our logic circuit and our analog circuitry and how you can configure it specifically for your project.